Abusafo me mo akwa sonko e de ba COS TV so na mekoso adawase se ugusu eje ya baba na oni ye ko ene ye ba na wa subscribe e de amayen. In fact, me appreciate you so much. Thank you 1 million times. Me da se bebre na me enhira na ma me ko straight e won nsem no so that the Lumba ho nsem de maka che say me take me time na me de munsem bia e de abro ensem bebre na ekoso on the camp of that the Lumba, but some new one bia aba and abase wutie. In fact eno am be kind the bro e fa lawyer Kusi a obeyi ne ho ano say judge no enema bi ekoso wo bra obusa odobroni pictures a ono lawyer Kusi ne hu ni say omodo mo nsa ka picture no enye original photo na mum omaye edited photo ana say omo the AI anwene mfonyini no medi kind ho ensem e de ebaye na there has been another development e was asem no ho ene lawyer Kusi enua bema aba bonten e de enchiremu bi aba ensem a lawyer Kusi aka akire wo no ene de oba beye so far as judgment aba amanfo bi de ono lawyer Kusi nanim etwitwi fom no enema bi a oba beye na afi so de asesi biem secret bi a wada na di akire nipa no ene ensem bi a waka akire nipa no Daddy Lumba ene in fact de abetwemu no ase nu kresua na de ebeba no edoso se de abetwem. I'm being honest with you. De ewo ho nie o kan so a enu a besa so de brel so fo kwaten a oba bonten be ka se Daddy Lumba Abusuapanin a handle asem ye the previous video am de brel no me di kan decide ne brel ma so fo obekire mu ebe ka se hwe na oyakosu Serwaa e maame oba fo nanim anya fom e ma okasa akra ma bi efa MC a yebo aho no saa so fo kro na wasan so de nsem bia betudwa o kire mu se Daddy Lumba yere no mienu no ayakosu Serwaa e na odobroni. In fact, one of them emu baako e ba benya stroke. Afi so enye stroke no kwa baako nso ebe na dwen se obenante pa na nante nim no nature ene safo no ebedi wasan so se Abusuapanin e wo se ye to ne jese ye yine na ase konya kora efri ho na e wo so otufo ema ye yi Abusuapanin empaboa e wo badwam na chese Abusuapanin ya belusu na hinie na se otufo mpo enga e wo se paakoso hene e de ne nansi fom etu Abusuapanin ade so enti na mene wo ka se Abusuapanin ahinie no ana na Abusuapanin a woye no amanfo bi ene nam ase se ibehwe ne to akunya after Lumba eyi no na Abusuapanin ebre a asem hya ase no. In fact ahyase no ase o handle asem no ye kakra ekonuma no ma social media ebe wura mu esai bibia na Abusuapanin na kasa de nano ene ne nsa asai enema ni nyina etintansa ne sobo ni nyina no enko Abusuapanin ho afi so se wokaya ebre a ye papa Charles Kodofo su free mu na DLFM ebe make announcement na enipa na obema announcement no Serwaa Amihere ne ho ya basem ne ho a eya basem se papa yi se ewo se ye chine dadua na ede ne kwa hemfie na okotwe dwan efiri se onye busuani ena Daddy Lumba oye ode hye prekope enti saa de hye kronkron saa no enya bontinsofo na ye le funeral announcement na okokotena DLFM ameke announcement. In fact okotena DLFM emeke saa announcement we.
But the family of Daddy Lumba that we popularly know, we can call him, but officially called Charles Kodofo, regrets to announce the passing of the legend.
Eno na mpanifo bu ofu se saa de no a oyeye no entwayi na nnu ho kwan se Serwaa Amihere etu saa na mo no afi so Abusuapanin ono Abusuapanin bi a wo ye tibon koso kakraka pa. In fact ensema no obeka ye no ene de odi abakra de chen watumu nkyere pa na owie na wasan so de nkyeremu ba ese so obi to anase bi obi film ana obi wu a ye ka se ye kokata nachi ena ye kokora nachi odi nkyeremu ba ese ye ka se ye kokata obi achi a e won nkyeremu wo ho ena okokora obi nso achi a ye won nkyeremu wo ho nemom abusuapani we di obaye no wabese bibia na sa okan so a na akoye se Roman father enne no nam ha na oye interview okwa na wo fa ha na wo se ya papa say ono ene nipa oma Roman father jai kasa onu say that say on kasa biem on grant interviews on ka bibia biem say papa ene fa full free Roman father ka chen say onyai on kana ntum no nam so ma Roman father ayedin nti wo say akosia Serwaa na odobro ni asemi si ejama na obetimi aka siesie kura masumdie be ba aboni bia ensi ene yesofo kwaten asa bebiem edi nsem sei abetudwa
enti sa asem no aba no abusuapanyin hyase yie but eko ending wa goofy wati amamre kwan so no wo so mu gi abusuapanyin yo no free ni nsem
wow
wati kura
de hin wanye ni ye
amamre mu ono so obi wu a abusuapanyin wo na aye odehye won sori prekon kasa enti na social media ni ho enti se woma social media yo de na wano kasa ebeye anofom de abaye kotokora be koan ewa wieye brem enti asem no be ko na wieye no na won sema ye kotokora be koan ebra ade ni si foforo no na mon sentwefo yara moko bisa ne ade wo ka se nipa na owu wawu no kura ye mebo na mane so ya announce no which is wrong ehwo na busuapanyin twai wunni kwan se Lumba no nye obi keke oye odehye nti amamre mu ono na nye se nipa obe ananso ye mehu se ababa bi oye nsentwere adwuma young lady bi nso wa ye lawyer say yes ono betena ananso na wo se ya chini dedua wow because Lumba ofira himfie amamre mu ono no onye bontinsu ne wo so obe ka Lumba wu unya busuani ne yire kura ntumi tina wo se ne yire frɛ abusua se wonim na busuani bia because me say abusuapanyin so wo wonim na busuanti no oyo saa ampa ebi obi a okwan fa so trance he was a private man o hwe ye nua Lumba enti no oni wa mo anhunu abusua ba ne nua ma no mo de o ma anhunu won ne wo fa ase nom de o ma una tete no krofa wu a o fa ase etimi di ade enti wo fa ase no otumi sabre a obetima ka asoma no enti na wo kuma no you have no power to announce the death of Lumba ansa na akwa koduru wo namfo no ma na Lumba namfo maba wankuma esa ya gro no ho sa no maba enti na wo se owu ye no ye de kodan abusua na ye de funu kosie ekohye mutuary na ye de asie na wo afre kumase na wasoma ne wo faase no bi kumase na wafre wo nkuma mpanyimfo no aka che se sei na abo na omo abuchie kura no a omo akire okwan wo so ofaso na bia wakọ abusua woni ekoye maami we ho ye ne na eka ye ne we na eka because okọ abusua mu obi betima ye abusua panyiba na onye ntwotwo mu ntwo wo Lumba de no a twotwo mu ntwo no ye ya opoku no nti wo se ya poku na spear head bibia na ode ama abusua pani but in this case no won se abusua pani na huragina kron eno no afa bibia eno na ama ne ma esaye enti omo twema mentwe abeto ho nyina no wo se abusua pani no mo de blame no ema no omo wi a eze otumfo otu nipa mietu no firi so anase pa akoso ho no ofiri no enipa a omo ho no emso ho no one ohene no so nkasa enye ne se wo so mutu no firi so enye sa na edi abusua panyi me kira mamre and you know me ma kira mamre over 27 years on radio TV in sorry ni schools enye se ne ye no enti esi foforo na nko nam kwan totin so se ade na asie no wode ne sa to so mo bia nka Lumba asem nso ye interview bi dika ka no hye fugu odika kan ma me betu no fokora bo na ba so because no yi ye hintasem bi se yesi Lumba aware won kran sa baba ndi onim no se wa no onim no wabu nam ka se hey onto no bo Tr0uble a obetima handle ni yie me betufo eko social media me sha bada green kofo fa bebrei abusuapanyin hyase yie no na nko so otu anamon behu eba akra no wodi kan Lumba ne legacy no ho ban de enti esu obi wu a ye kokata na chi ni akora na chi ye kan nsem mienu wawu ye kokata na chi na ya akora na chi ye kora e wo bra otiasefo ne ye mfomso tina mpanyifo se ye kokora na chi ne yakata na chi kura ne de kura na beso yakata na chi no de enti ate sa ne se ebia mfanze Lumba osi suo no oni abusua nya issues enti bi obo bra bi a wawo ha said you see din onisika obetima wo bebre no problem ba bia emma ene wo mu tikika bom nti no bi ohaw bi abeto enti mpanyin se ye kokora na chi akata na chi enti edika akora wo nipa achi wie ansa ne akata na chi if you say bia wo ye mfonsuo bi oni nipa bi no wo issue odeka wo ye say bia enti wo hwe ababa wa kuma ye obefa no ne tena ya at the very tender age wone no wo ye yes na osan no wo yiri wo Germany people who don't know the story are misplacing the words na osan wo yiri wo Germany enti sa issue we na ba we abusuapan nyansafo semia metima handle odobro ne handle we nicely enka koka emma na fe nkofo adwen akwa Kusi Lumba legacy ne so
yes
ba abusuapan we wanya ne sa eno dane social media bodyguard. I say people who loved Lumba, they don't love him anymore, except few.
Yes.
Because people think say and I sorry and I could say what said the mamia brenie, sa nema nense se pie no. Obi awuye ko kata edition na chi akora na chi no. Abusuapanyin we wan kokora chi ko kata chi keke. Wow. Die ntini yesi kokora na chi. Be otias waye mfumsuo bi enema bi enti edi kan wura mo that is the right word enti u ko shield no enti udi ka kora no Priscilla abana yesi wo Lumba yire no me na me abusuapanyin no minimu waware me anabi onware mba wakobo kokoko why na na damfu we yedimse Lumba wonamfo o magidin pa ebinum ye media fo ebinum ye skafo politicians na damfu we na wo oluman no wadi kan ene bi Lumba nuama because wonya chochomu ntwo wonya ni wo fa direct na woni Lumba nuama ni Lumba wo fa nankasa no na mo ye Lumba unim se ne yiri wa bochire wonya no yenim se okono hoba ne ade ene Lumba so nye maamienu ipe no ne o mawo enti ne ye nkrakora akire na asema obeka ma Priscilla akoma to ne yem panini no maami Serwaa akoma to ne yem na wabusuapanyi wadwuma no
nyina na wo ye no
underground enti no obi wase na ko hye mutuare na ebrepam ye beba abeka ho asem
ebrepam
yes
ya to
ne manwie ya enye brepa
damage control sini nyina
abusuapanyi ni we ye kokrakora na chi akata na chi no wankrakora okokata na ne hia no ye kokata ne ye de wakohye fo we de Sofia boso yakata ye ja ho eno na abusuapanyi ni we ehura gina no woyo nti ohaw bi ababia no ti ya na mitu media fo no fo se ye wo media fo ma ba wane mrante bi ne guest bi no mu dia kosia se watem no mu yesem se he di onko hoda ne ka chenso obekwa akoto enna di onyini meduru ho ne ka chenso obenyina beto enti amamre wuni mamamre a enkasa ngu mframam na mframa de twen wo animu daachi ode bebrew enti ne wokasa no enti na Awurade ne ma mframa ma ode kasa so ma mframa ma ode kasa ode akofra mframa etwen wo daachi obesa de abrew daachi ti yenkasa kwa enti me amamre me makasa sa issue we mefa akosua se wa for dobro ne mesiesie the whole Ghana I'm telling you because me a message for them. Now wo de obem wo beti bi.
Yes.
Who say you should be by a buy no say na say hu Roman father.
Dabi wa di.
Ya busa say hu na me hu da chichi wo de wo ben ti wuni. Me hu da chichi asem na me ka kire wo a. Nyankopon nim senti a oye me osempakani ochechirefo odifo esan ochechirefo means wo chechire bibia bi. Enti Awurade de adom no mai say fa wan nipa. Enti se obi koto musuo mu a bibi ade na esi no owo beba totoa so
sisu biem
ade na esi no
Lumba ade na esi no
issue na ekoso no de ye suma me se oseme yo no e wo se me kotufu me de enye bibi huhu no obi kodua bibia o me ni won betena se ese se obakoji obia obakonfu nso otum na ahome ba omienu ntam free se mfunso obi ba ya e yo be ma na okoro no aye no mfumso e de ato nachi ama de be ba enti se o manya obako benya stroke baako benya stroke baako be so obechini pa na hwentumi no but nature e fight wo so funtumi nyew konfuntumi nyew imam malam baifuntumi nyew nature ye niam Awurade abo eno so na so sofo na konfo be direction obekwa kofa bidi aya ma wo when nature rejects you you have no place to stay. And people don't know, they are talking anyhow. Sometimes I look at some of the presenters, some of the entertainment people, I laugh. Hey, you are joking with nature. Amamre Awurade na hihya amamre o. enti was omo Abusuapanin no na akofa issue we nyina de aba
se obosha Dazi TV me am na be ma no in fact one lawyer Kusi e na krana in fact omo koba de bia and during this process bibia mu no okokot ho one lawyer Kusi have a one-on-one interview omo ka bibia in fact obabonten e de nchiremu bia ba ene wase one lawyer Kusi gina afo so kasa for 1 hour na ensema lawyer Kusi kan ye ene revelations bia lawyer Kusi ade na di e de akere wono ene kukomu nsem bia lawyer Kusi ne nakano in fact wabe pone ho e de akere na tie wo se amanfo bia omode sobo ebo lawyer Kusi se lawyer Kusi kasa dodo wayese dodo no wase ne nipa bi ntiase efi se lawyer Kusi no hu ne se some part of the media and I say majority and I say most of the media men are sorry tia akosia Serwaa etina hu hia se wase lawyer Kusi timi nsemu mani pa adasa etimi tenase yie eno ne yedi kan afei wasa so se enam entro amanfo bi etwa eto akosia Serwaa camp ne adade ntino papa shi ebeto dwa se ya pamno craft record ene ade wasa sa asem nyina nya no kora ebosire ka bi a amanfo bi enwene ye ema ne se no kora eti entro kwa na amanfo bi eka edefa lawyer Kusi ne na fam no ene akosia Serwaa nsensem no ho na ne ma esi wo court ho no ensema lawyer Kusi aburo so akere no echen afi wo se enema aye ne wanwa kra se judge no abua de atia ma me akosia Serwaa kra ba kokra ha no twa ne nsrum ne se lawyer Kusi ebusa odobroni witness anase obi obegire ma no a odi adanse ama no ne se odobroni afi be mu ne ware no ene ndipa so ye ware no 2010 no so okay ene lawyer Kusi se busa ne bi mu se ene owo afi be ene o se owo 2011 no so okay afi tio o ware 2010 ene lawyer Kusi busa ne se ena owo afi be ene o se owo 2011 o so okay ene lawyer Kusi se busa ne se yo mate ene owore ye no edi bosome dodo sei ansa na owo ene dipa ne se edi bosome mako saa edun wotwe 18 months ti asem ni yi ti asem ni yi lawyer Kusi ebusa dipa ne se wo se odobroni that the Lumba e ware no 2010 meboa no say ai it's okay ana owo 2011 meboa o say ai it's okay e lawyer Kusi se bo busa dipa no bi mu se ebra ya papa Charles Kodofosu e ware odobroni 2010 no edi bosome mako say ansa na owo ne first born o say edi bosome mako edun wotwe 18 months let's say eburu 1 year no eje wona lawyer Kusi sire ye no say ohun omunim say wo ye o calculate taxes etubetuma calculate wo ye tax coordinator ba wo say we dia arew e dey say that's the person tell say owo court wo tell say enema ko ye ba nyina ye enema akuti odobroni bibia akuti odobroni nti judgment ne ba ya na anko ne se de wo se kono ohun se Ghana emra friend emra enokre kama ku sei enim in fact ensem we ni ensem ebro saa ena dazi e de abetudwa enkoma lawyer Kusi ene ne die wabete ho e de akere.
But I'm very close with lawyer and anytime be an menen kasa na ebia adwenchire episode mu ma and they say menen kasa menen kasa more than hour di hu komo menya suggestions bebre o mi die mu bebre na o me na me say o mo frame say say o nze na bebre na kan say isi appeal no na no menen kasa no mostly no bebre na say na o kasa no you say but say utie me say na me call no office me need nkomo on say dey na say ma me Serwaa e ma me kusa say media no kakra bi na support no enti Tr0uble ba pena manfo asom no more sum na ye de ko nti aba sa krampo ana ama papa no kra man for kakrobia de enti mostly once you say ya meet me ko transit lawyer me for chede na course or court I know fa kwan ways now educate ye enti ano na because won ti say papa shi ya pamo no so ya pamo no but one for the can say well you say at this time you are not part of the party no pia bonting ye say die call no me say court session apart from Ernestina also examination man ko hobby me te what the day we read the judgment ni na o judge no bakra na say nsentro ni gina ho a oba pam we pim nsentro na tena se so na ho su sakitua bi into one say narrative about say ahane ya pam no but no that wasn't two certificate na man for budget a fake certificate one say sa story ni fly pa and the man munim na man for ko ebi kwa eda ebi kwa dance ebi kwa kosai studio ni ade what I say into ono feel it say sometimes say we German I call Trara sa can we say by the time I will the truth to say no not to say near young Tr0uble I fly that and I can say nipa that's any day papa ni dey kan ho asemu but boni ni be kan ho asem enti once judgment so by and be now so especially you see their own colleague lawyers are because how I know see handling issue no na he was so confident and how work as no be now no mji say oh you overconfident so you see this in by na say how on really for the coin na but one for granting farmer no that was a more opportunity to tease him yes some message no but the say yeah normal send a man for jubilate to studio na yes say na chi na ye hu ye say eja but say na me kan no me ne ka say no and a man who a document na correspondent or church the core is anka and verify waiting for man no I'm sure say one me no send man me na me distribute ma some ebi no say lawyer be ba vim lady we your friend lawyer questions then name some more can cram into me grant because now irritating lawyer you about TV so no be kasa atat and adrena was awake yeah kupo
yeah me
because no someone insist so what I say because who are also taking an entrenched position there's nothing that you can do about it they want to just make their point but what I can suggest to you is that like you see is on track in fact this case his the profession the reputation is also at stake into a grandpa man say okay can don't appeal like he will go for appeal and make sure say at least an appeal also can say judge me and send a better so they will review all the proceedings and everything but the only thing you have to pray to God and say the appeal court will act when he want to adduce another evidence because see I don't prefer evidence behind just appeal court to determine say obey be review for be their which is interviews no and the does here plus other videos be I did say other investigation this or the coca ho it will add up me some lawyer be din komo ene amani chirem say answer na appeal court no e be determine say no o take 5 steps other say near or the buy no it will change omo de ka ho a e betumi asesa decision na high court here na there are some other processes say obi go through it's not that done deal I can tell you say appeal court no they can only decide to based on in some you could do a high court and one on be review so what did you say as I say another additional evidence deba na evidence na deba no will it have an effect in the outcome of the decision of the high court that is when on be determine even that the respondent can also rebut some rebut here then you have to prove say they have to admit the new evidence whatever inti I don't say idea mjidi say but this time around mjidi say bebre na say melo and kasabi mani kasabi I believe that when the narrative no answer I'm sure so right now say narrative no answer so mu na alcohol na bibia akoye okay I'm not sure so be gina bontia because and Saturday is a UTV so my friend one fa he decided not to talk because the place has already taken an entrenched position me I've said it in my video say papa she go look asan kan ko o do nja mfa mo no man kan ka mo se enti make tell mo yeah munya botre me say no be can say information no ya mo de ba bontin it's true I think say most of them no ya na you can call to be like an informant but when it become too public like that now sometimes your opponent can also pick it from there and begin to look out for alternative solutions to what you think say what they babano. And me not like we see most of the things it's already sometimes documenting that they are more than that. Because you are supposed to serve your other party with everything that you want to present at the court.
Yeah.
In this way, none of the church and yet sudden adventure and be phone they already have it. And almost the abandons also have that is why I know can say even in their witness statement, never, not even a single picture or it's indeed say ye be no hwade. But Abusuapanin de ye ko share we the picture can ho a kire say bibi side echoes. And inti be na inti judgment in the aba. I've spoken to a couple of lawyers and they said that some part will be one, but very technical. And you see that the substance of the case, and no, and the technicalities wo. The lawyer for Bakacho said, "Ni na ka ho. The law of the game is the evidence." And so once my come video, we say, "Me when you go to court, the Bible in the man Sabi and can say, I swear to tell the truth. You can't true to swear that you tell the fact because you know that some of the fact can be false and can be true. Because it will be very sad to see the face of Abusuapanin at the time I did picture so when you see me in church could by Obama can mean that's me. And this is someone I was only letting out at that moment, what because of what he want. He had to deny somebody own him, but on himself, some more can throw. But can the fact, when you're quiet, right now, I have started appeal, no appeal on my file, appeal, no and appeal your filing. So there's a grounds of appeal. Now, grounds of appeal, no that day, I mean, interview like Kusi, one now to meet Robert 3 or 4 cry. I saw it, but in my videos, no, my muscle, my lawyer, and Ankasa junior lawyer Henry, and or kind of grounds of appeal, no, but that time, no money full judgment. Nothing more for the read judgment, no can say judgment no a year 74. But then once a judgment about until be reading a year 47 to 49, which means that there's additional 30 pages you have the 49 they don't have access to it. And then answer and I'm quite certified copies no only 79 now. So today as I speak to you, I spoke to like Henry no Patrick said almost steady by Monday they'll go and add more additional grounds of appeal. Then court of appeal bet now say na omadi proceedings and then they will set the date for them to go. And this time around, my imagine say sometimes after every court section, but I'll personally be there. Send me every day. I'll go to the court and make sure say this time I won't let lawyer Kusi to talk. I'll be there myself to make sure say I'll get all the updates. Send a beya meet me there. Adam send a beya this time around. You will relieve him from that position who see like say Bia or Bekasa basic. And 2, I've seen so many suggestions about say Abia so people augment the law firm. I know a lot of people have DM me and he's that free to the extent say open the number cry or the bema or say me or say case avenue can say do a coach me for me I can say me my question say or cross examination. He used those questions to Abia he's too open to more ideas and everything. And he said, people send me questions and I send it to him. Or say, Yan say, Baku for Tr0uble. And only he's open to also be because of what has happened. Should we bring lawyers from here? Should we do that? It's all of them is acceptable. And you don't need to even let a lawyer travel from outside or wherever. They can easily talk on phone. Hey, Charlie, I think this way, Yan say you. And one said the lawyers will go ahead to file the case. But what I will plead all of you to say, you're very circumspect in terms of because there are so many, and I thank God, and this is something that we should all be proud of. Me, I've said this that I've made my decision and I've made my stance, and nothing will change it. I know my job is on the line, but when it's time for the truth, posterity will vindicate you.
Yeah. So
what I mean is that I thank God. Say all the cross-examination questions need now, if anything at all, please. Just bear with me this. If anything at all, whether appeal, whether no appeal, whether Akusha Serwaa is the legitimate wife or not, Nyami Adom, all the questions are, all the witnesses need now, Nyami Adom said, so now, that's the reason why there's an uproar because Obia who says, say in the course, I had to say, everybody is aware, say, case wait here, I didn't maybe say, say this, you'll be able to know where the thing is going. To you, now everybody's knowing, saying, say, at the end, this is how it is. No credit, but technicalities, Yadabakata no credit. So. Into beyond the whole crown problem, say, no, this is not what I said. And to me, I thank God, say, all the proceedings and the questions and the answers from the witnesses and everything about one thing, and will be a day in a situation where a witness was asked, oh, yeah, 2010. December and now on the first word 2011. No, like Kusi say, ain't it? No one dear no. Bosuma here answer all was 18 months. Also, yeah, sure. Also, you see, I put it to you, say, because you are tax administrator, they know that you can calculate very well so they are real. And that was it. That was some part of it. So I say, one gas out to her. Necessarily said you take more for one farm out. But as somewhere would see about with my catcher say there's something missing somewhere. What I say. So that you have that kind of assurance to say Nyame bo or far on tuning them. The doubt better no. And I've always said is that in every court proceedings, there's a law verdict. And you know the life verdict. But the life verdict in a mantem. When in Baba House on the Dako Echiwa. So no ukoji law verdict in Franke, yeah. So it's message them telling them more yabe. Few of you that are supporting Akusia Serwaa and always come live to make sure that you at least also rebuttal some of the false claims never no. It is good. But message them they say information we have to keep it to ourselves and let's wait for the judgment to come. Now me say that mama Akusia Serwaa be na no so be kasa no. You say BBC club to Akujina can say Madam Kasali yeti because no might be a share bono ba no kasa. Obi anim no on kasa but make a chance say obi a ono obi na dwen say bia obi didi na tem obi kase tia no e be maka say I won't even insult or boni I won't insult anybody because asem na aba but mami penimu ai penimu de that age a wadru no so undru ho na kasa nipa hu bisa na nya botre because bia make okra bia won bisa age no tiankupo ishira me na di sa te bia na no matter what you think, say you don't belong, you don't support her. No, you should always be circumspect in terms of the comments that you pass about her. And a woman like that who has endured over 15, 16 years, being silenced about something, did say, killing her softly. But that only thing that she wanted in this, not a jeopardy, nothing. She just wanted that recognition, that justice for her to be recognized as the only surviving spouse. Asa, look, America Patch say. Unu bi kowo neze wu no wan waro crown pass so far as akwala wo nku ade ye ndi nja woda wo benya bi so what at all she just want that recognition keke on that very day, that final day of her husband she sacrificed for all these years to say that indeed at that very day before ye do ko share from no I was the only one na you can't say me yet and one no pill in fact in the 34 hours just 24 hours but then that person did not grant that. They also decided to fight. And of course, who else will you blame? I'm say obi asebi. Funu obi wu a yankase na nka chiri bone. But sometimes when one kind of crying so if we talk. And I lie about oba efia poku aje. So can say is because the person has the clout. The moment you begin to talk about the person, and I said that it only takes a wise woman to shield their husbands. Because they have a flaws. Omo nipa. Oba na wu omo nya 100% perfect enti oba onim yansa ana sebe se ne kunu ye bibia oba shield no se le ba abontin for ede enti so ye maami Akusia Serwaa ne ekoso na ina echi onkasa aye because odoni kunu because there's a legacy and namono so a contribute to build me no a build e danya ekodu so bi me hu anya asem tin ko budan ngu da bi da so people wanted her to come out. I didn't know one kasa and then very relationship ni awari anka me catch us anka beti an say this ye de kwa yi antina but then a wise woman like her realized that you know what, this is a man I met when he had nothing. We did everything together. I promoted him. Now God has also blessed him. So now because of his flaws, means so adi amabo menesi no means so ko dwiringu. There be that. I will shield it and protect it. But that is one, and Bemban says, oh, he said, no. Idea or buy, and I'm not surprised that over songs of Lumba boy and I could just say, of course, because I know that you, but this one, dear, Asam Naba, Nyabano, Obia, it is glare on the faces all over the world. Everybody will tell you that this is not supposed to be. And one thing that the American said in the courtroom, lawyer Kusi, through the cross examination, or the bony witness, no, but you know, said, also she had 2006. I'll say, yes, my lord. And I'll say, 2008, no one Nelson, schooling and Mati Dinina, no country and so okay, yes, my lord. Bisan say, at the time, 2006, also would you not so be the dance here, manu. 2006 now, Ushiano, no, I know a dim fear saying. And now, lawyer, and sorry, because my lord, I think you have had this discussion back there that there's not going to be personal information out there. And I would like to say, no, we just want to know. You said you are here to witness for him. Well, how old was she when she met Daddy Lumba in the supposed 2006? You claim you saw them. But the more fun to say, okay, fine, you have to answer, but then, Opa answer, I'll put it to you. If you want to answer, fine. If you don't want to answer, fine. That's an option. If it is you, you will say it. And because a lot of people are saying that if the age at that time she met the legend, I disclose here, and that will be the time when AB Crampa, and it will turn a different ball game altogether. And at the last time, I can say, if you have people that any because maybe classmates you have new code JHS, you can do +1 -1 in terms of our mathematics and economics statistics. Sometimes you do +1 -1, and sometimes you could put me and let Ghana say I could let you SSR at least over 16, 17. Of course, couldn't tell me 15, which means averagely you can even do your own but maybe deduce here, but then that might not be accurate unless you probably get that information from him. Into what I'll beg you to say, or any other information that you think that it will probably give the weapon to our opponent to also base on that, especially in this appeal, no, it's very delicate. And the appeal now here, so it's not a done deal, to be honest with you. It's a very lame same gate. I say gate will have a very small one be. I explore that opportunity. So you pray that whilst you're exploring that small hole over there should be someone who have that mercy to open it wide. So that any other thing, maybe I may can say, oh, no, that there should be someone who will see the truth and see that, you know what, let me open the gate so that 2 or 3 people can enter that hole. That's what I want us to. We can only channel them to the legal team so that they will study the legal remedies of it and look at how I provide a solution to that. And so that is what I wanted to say today. May call life that. Since I started here, I'm always laying at the back, monitoring whatever is going on. But I believe say say now your opponent will not get that weapon to fight against us. But I'm begging you, when you come live, speak the goodwill of Mamia Kusha Serwaa. And I've received so many messages, and I know that after this, everything, I'll have a section where people that have known her from day one will be able to, and that will be a message that you're going to put across that. So, about 7 will be Buama or Sefifia, also Buama and saying 82. And I believe that she has done a yeoman's job. And when I listen to people that sometimes calls me to tell me about the sacrifices that she made at that time, anytime I listen to it, I become too emotional because I'm but when some will be I did the man next would say that is the genesis of now say analysis. I'm here say as some can we are only looking at the middle of the case, but you're not talking about the bottom. What I say? But the thing started for bottom. Who person fill a tanker? Not tank no down on anyone. No matter amount of water you pour in the tank, it be good for. There should be something a bit silly, no. Now when you say talking down west Silia, whether it takes 15, 20, 80 years, would you show be guma bed ebeyama? Because now what down one now and can show be from a pie and then you want to fail you're failing. So whoever has done that to fill that small gap under the way, that person needs to be celebrated and be honored. Because after all, ne hu hia no why ni na awie akasa wodi nsu da megu so that foundation person is Mamia Kusi Serwaa. Whoever that will come later, he doesn't care because foundation has already built. She took somebody who was called Charles Kojofosu and made him Daddy Lumba. At the time he was going after him, he was not called Charles Kojofosu as we all know. Nimpano, they met him as Daddy Lumba, but they've forgotten that it was someone who worked hard to convert Charles Kojofosu as a name to now Daddy Lumba as a very popular person for you to know him. Nti nimpa na obo say adwuma no ye ntoto na se e de ni die ni obu e na de man o ye nimpa me nka so 100% perfect e bi ono so one flaws but that flaws you have to look at the bigger picture and the positive contribution one make it and then lawyers ne o mu di achi na mu wira fi se sabi o akosho say wa an sacrifice an ka say daddy tena fie me kwa koye adwuma ba because me de minim say wo de enwom ti me support you ama akosia ntumi an supporting mama ye Daddy Lumba na anka sa nkofo na o mo ne nche sa be obi adwuma dem am krampo no how would they be getting a job and how and I make I say the tone of them that letter say o cry when you lucky say mo o betina ye na say cry it means woman tra the tone of that letter is very yeah na me person me use certain word because I'm not good at that the tone of the message alone is very disgusting to be honest. Because I believe that if the lawyers, even if that Lumba can be an catcher of someone trying to the lawyer should have used a discretion to know that no matter what, even if that time she was an ex-wife, she could have been an ex-wife at that time.
That's it. Do you know a year a woman, the most interesting a year woman on UTV, Abusuapanin denied that aspect and say that part and say he never authorized anybody to write that letter.
You see,
when they called the lawyer, no, Fatineba, you know, Obe Spousal, no, say,
you see,
Abusuapanin was it, ye, the moment Abusuapanin, into the ye be Abusuapanin, away a crime, you know, and the say, you say, how can you sit on national TV and lie to the entire nation?
Charles Kojofosu. But listen, Daddy Lumba, Ojina Paso, I can't say way from the bush for her.
Let me say, I'm a good say, Parisian. Lemon, Obia only many Comobia, young coffee, if you say few. But Kojofosu, make one back. Abusia make one free money. Or one for beer.
Hey, Daddy Lumba. Anyway, me did the Christian of home. Thanks so much for your time. Poyaka!